come on, Jeffrey. I know I've fit into this chainmail before.
Yes, me lord, but it's been quite a few fortnights since you've been in battle.
Quiet thy nipples, you simple stable boy, and help me with this chainmail.
Yes, me lord.
See, I told you I look fantastic.
Yes, me lord. It's just a little tight around your lung plum, but you should be fine.
The crowd won't notice while I'm jousting and slaying the opponent. Tally-ho, Fougere! On to the battlefield!
Good luck, me lord! You can do it!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 2 of season 4 of the Cologne podcast. My name is Mike.
And my name is Ryan. We're just two broke-ass best friends going on a fucking wet dream journey. I don't know. Smelling fragrances.
And giving you our uneducated opinion.
Yeah, and today we're going to be smelling Faris by Kajal.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you what EBC 1018 says on Fragrantica about it.
Okay.
And I searched. I couldn't find a negative review. I'm sorry, guys. Normally, we like to give a little spice up front, but people just fucking love this fragrance. Sexy AF. Lavender done correctly with the perfect amount of sweetness. I get 6 hours easy. Projection is arm length for 2 hours. Then it sits close to my skin.
Oh my God.
This is easily my favorite Kajal as of May 2022.
He put as of May 2022?
Yeah.
He dated it? He time-stamped it?
Well, they could release new fragrances. More on that in a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're really terrible at this.
God, we are so fucking rusty.
How do we have this much under our belt, but we suck this fucking much? Well. Anyway, we got to get into our one-night stand review of Flight by Michael Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Hit the music, Todd.
Yeah. One-night stand review.
Well, Mike, after spending the night with Michael Jeffrey Jordan, smelling his 6th scent in the freaking line with these boulder shoulders of a fucking bottle.
That's right.
What do you have to say about Flight?
It is far better than the original.
I agree.
Maybe 6 times better than the original.
And you know what? It's been a couple of days.
Yeah.
All right. More than a couple of days. And we just came back in here and we're smelling the tester strip.
Right.
This motherfucker's on there.
It's on there. It smells good. I remember spraying it on. I don't remember smelling it too far into the day because remember we had the road trip.
Yeah.
So it didn't last a lot as far as the spray goes, but it smelled nice going on.
It does.
And it's not bad. And I think if you can get it for under $15, go for it.
But our previous review of it, though, we both said skip.
Yes.
So are you still sticking with that skip, or do you feel a little different now that you smell the card and it's still there?
Well, I mean, honestly, the fact that it's on this card right now shouldn't matter.
I guess that's true.
It was okay. It was just okay.
Yeah, it's still a skip for me.
I think if you're a middle school boy and you got it for Christmas, good on you.
You're going to be happy.
The end. Sorry, Mr. Jordan.
Okay. There's our one-night stand review of Flight by Michael J. Jordan.
Yep. And now on to the scent of the day, baby.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Open her up.
Oh, yeah. Well, full disclosure, we've wore this a time or two.
Yes. So do we want to go ahead while you're spraying? Do you want to talk about where most of our experience came with it?
Yeah. Would you just hold on a second?
Oh, my God. You usually don't lace up.
Yeah, but I will on this one. Maybe one more. Oh, there you go.
Oh, woo! You punched me.
I think I think it went a little too strong.
God damn.
I forgot how big boy this fragrance is.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to be animated like you, and I think I put too much on. You really don't need a lot with this fragrance.
Dude, off the top, I fucking love this fragrance.
As soon as we sprayed this the first time, because it's been months.
Almost a year, actually.
Yeah. I instantly was like, this is Ryan. This is Ryan's fragrance.
It is fucking incredible. Yeah, the very first time we sprayed it, that's the first thing he said. So we've had this bottle for about a year.
Kajal sent it to us.
Yes.
And Mo said, you don't have to show us any love. You can literally, if you don't like it, you can say you don't like it.
Yeah. And we wore it and we loved it. And then because we're dumbasses, we never made an episode on it last season. We should have, and we didn't. But I'm glad in a way that we didn't, because it's allowed us to really sit on this fragrance and kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
We were wearing this at the time. We were working a project with another gentleman, and it required us to be in the Texas fucking heat.
Yeah.
Every goddamn day. And when we would get done filming, part of the filming, I sat in a hot ass fucking trailer while Mike continued filming. I was offloading and editing in a hot ass trailer wearing this shit. So I can certifiably tell you guys, in the heat, this thing is nuts.
Yeah.
It smells great.
I mean, we wore it all year.
Yeah.
And in the cold, it has like a very sharp piercing attribute to it as well.
Yeah.
This one is safe all year long. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think we need to talk about what it smells like.
For me, I think at the time when I first smelled this, it does remind me, God, I'm going to say this name. It may be off because it's been literal decades since I've smelled it. But it does remind me of Van Cleef. Oh my God, Czar, a little bit.
You've said that before. What other fragrance did you say that
I can't
on?
remember what it was. I don't know which one it was. But it's not a one-to-one in my head, but it reminds me of it.
Yeah.
So this has a very, to me, I'll use old school kind of loosely because I can remember smelling that shit in like the 90s. And I don't really think that's too old school. It's not too far back. I think old, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it reminds me of that. It's very clean, but it's got this... It's got a little burn to that clean.
There's a masculine note to it. It is like a modern take on a vintage masculine vibe.
You said it better than I did. Yes, exactly. And so from the get, I fucking love this fragrance. I really have loved it.
Yeah, that's why I knew it was instantly you, because it smells really masculine. It does have like a retro vibe to it, but it also smells extremely modern. It's really hard to put my finger on, other than I feel like of a niche fragrance, it's one that could set next to like Bleu de Chanel,
agreed,
Luna Rossa Carbon, as like a strong, clean, wearable fragrance.
Yeah.
But this one has a little bit more attitude to it.
I agree. I was about to say Luna Rossa Carbon is a little bit more softer.
Safer. Just clean to be clean.
Yeah. This one has a little gut punch to it, but I love it. It's not too much. It's just fucking right.
I feel like we found ourselves reaching for it every time we came into the studio just to smell it.
All the time. I don't know from previous episodes, but usually when we're sitting around doing nothing, that's all we do is like we pick up a fragrance or a decant. We're like, oh God.
Yeah.
Then Mike's like, hey, pass me that. Let me smell it.
Well, that, to be completely honest, when we got it in, first of all, when you get a full bottle, it's kind of hard not to smell it.
Yeah.
You want to open it. You want to look at it. You want to touch it.
Yeah.
I feel like decants, it's easier because they all look the same.
I agree with that philosophy because, as soon as we saw this, we're like, we had to smell it.
Yeah, because the bottle looks incredible. The cap is so badass. All the Kajal caps are so awesome. But when we got it in, we instantly wanted to open it. And then it was like, we'll open it, but we won't smell it. And then as soon as we opened it, we smelled it. And we're like, well, now we
won't smell it all the time.
So then it became a thing where it's like, well, now we can't do an initial impression episode. Let's do full day wearing it. Let's do a really in-depth review of it.
Yeah.
And then we just kept wearing it and wearing it.
It's a sick fragrance. I mean, I hate that we're not giving our first impressions of it because it really is a badass fragrance. So I'm glad we're bringing it up. And you want to talk about price and trend on it?
Yeah, hit it up.
The trend on it, it kind of makes sense because the year before it peaked around summertime and it kind of dwindled down during wintertime. Now it's rising up again and it makes sense because, again, this thing was popping when we were wearing out in the summertime.
It's not super sweet, so it makes sense for it to be more of a hotter fragrance.
Yeah. It works perfect for it.
I mean, but you can wear it in the winter.
Yeah, you could.
In the colder air.
You could, but me personally, I think the the best performance will be in the summertime vibe?
I think I would more lean towards the colder for me wearing this.
Really?
I've completely changed in the last couple of years of doing this podcast.
Okay.
Because when we first started, remember, it was all about the sweet spices for me.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
And now I am clean citrus.
Really?
Yeah. Those are my main jams now. It's like I don't really lean towards the sweeter fragrances. I mean, I have like some of a 30 ml decant left of Leighton, and I rarely spray it.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like, it's really sweet. Now I'm leaning really far away from them. But this has kind of a spiciness to it. Oh, this feels more cooler in my preference.
Yeah.
Cooler weather for my preference.
Yeah.
It has more of a bite to it. There's more going on with it, you know?
No, definitely. It's super sharp. And the price on this thing for 100 ml, only $210. That's not bad. That's fair pricing.
For a niche, yeah.
Yeah.
Like full presentation, 100 ml bottle.
I'm not like crazy about bottles per se, and usually not caps, but the cap on these things are pretty sick.
Yeah.
I love the metal kind of sounding when they're clicking in.
I feel like if you are collecting, then this type of fragrance is one that really has the full presentation.
Obviously, I think any type of collecting is kind of subjective on what people deem like whatever, this bottle over this bottle.
Right.
I will say though, smart design to have different types of caps that are like a flower in a sense, I believe is what they kind of put it as.
Yeah.
But all of them being kind of different, I do feel like these, for me, I feel like this leans more collectible than most stuff.
Right. I feel like this would actually be a good time to cut into. We did an interview with Mo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be a good time to actually cut in and talk about the inspiration of the design, about the bottle and the cap.
For sure.
So with Faris, the cap, if you look at it, it's made up of different sections, and it's like a leaf of a palm tree.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a palm of the palm tree. I was doing a hike in Palm Springs, I think maybe 4 years ago, and it had just like rained very heavily for like 2 or 3 days. So, you know, there was a lot of streams and little brooks, you know, in that area. And it was unusually green. And we went for a hike. And at the end of the hike, we came to this big palm tree in the middle of the desert. And I took a photo and it just sat there. And that's where I got the inspiration for the cap. So I came back and I designed the cap with taking into consideration that leaf, that palm. And, you know, I put it together. When I did it, it also reminded me of the shield that the knight would use, you know, so it sort of also went along with that. There's like 8 of them. And then I incorporated that design also into the decoration that is on the bottle.
There you go. And I agree. This thing is very knight in shiny armor. It's looks like silver and like matte black cap. It's very fucking tough looking. And the palm tree thing that he was talking about, you get the vibe on the cap. It looks sick. I love the look.
I do too. That's not the only thing that we talked to Mo about.
Or should we say that Mo talked to us about?
That is right. We've had you guys support this podcast for a long time.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about this interview that we did with him because we were so excited about doing this fragrance and we've been able to connect with Mo in the past. So we said, let's do an interview with Mo about Faris.
Yeah.
And then also, while we've got him on, let's just talk to him a little bit about how he got started and how Kajal became Kajal. You know, it's on the verge of celebrating 10 years as a brand.
Yeah.
So we were able to talk to him about that, which that is available up on the Patreon if you're a Friends with Benefits member. But one of the things he said in the interview
that blew our minds.
Yeah. We'll just cut to it.
We have 2 new fragrances that this is the first time I'm announcing this at all, like to anyone. So they're going to come. We're trying to have them launched we're saying now September. I think I might be able to have them launched quicker than that. I'm very excited for these 2 fragrances. And what I can do for you guys is for your Patreon people, we can actually, you know, send out samples to, I don't know, 10 people or,
awesome.
You know, just to get the feedback, to get their, you know, input on what they think of the scents, what they think just as something that's like, to create some excitement for these people. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
No, I think that's
love that.
Great idea. What did he say?
He said that if you're subbed to the Patreon, we can pick out 10 people and get 2 undisclosed Kajal fragrances, samples of each, sent to 10 of our Patreon members that they'll be able to smell and give feedback and input on before it even has a bottle designed for it.
Think of that shit. We were blown away that this guy was willing to do that for us. We've said in the past, he really is a super nice guy.
Yeah.
And offering that up, I don't even know what made him think about it, but thank fuck. That was amazing. That shit's incredible.
And one of the things we want to highlight on too is we want you to know that this interview, for example, got cut short because we've been bootstrapping this thing and we haven't been able to splurge on all the little premium things we need to really make this thing go forward. And one of those is just premium Zoom. And so he was right in the middle of telling us a pretty badass story.
A family story.
About his childhood and about scents and fragrances, and it got cut off. So part of why we're doing this Patreon is because we want to be a better podcast for you as the listeners. Mm-hmm. And it's little things like that we're going to spend money on to grow this podcast and make it better.
Our deepest apologies to Mo for that cutting off, but he was seriously a real trooper about it. And he was like, just give me your goddamn number. Well, he didn't say that, but he said, give me your number. And he called us and chatted with us for the rest of the way and closed it out. But I hate that we didn't give him a proper send off.
Right. So if you feel obliged, please check out patreon.com/Cologne podcast. Help us grow this and make this a better podcast for you guys as well.
And with that, I want to get into another subject. Who the hell is wearing this fragrance?
Ooh, well, I think we're going to have to go to Dreamland.
Take me there. I'm there, Mike. I'm in Dreamland. Are you here with me yet?
Hello?
Mike?
Ryan?
Hey!
Hey, there you are.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I was just hanging out with this guy. He's 6'8".
Yeah, he's pretty damn tall.
Yeah. It's hard for me to make eye contact standing, knee high to him. He's got long, luxurious black hair, combed back. He's got the rustle of chainmail just flowing from his body.
I'm still here in Dreamland. I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Basically, what I'm trying to explain, this guy standing next to me, towering over both of us, is a knight.
In shining armor.
Yeah,
he's freaking badass looking, that's for sure. Yeah, this fragrance is for the hero type of person.
That's right.
I genuinely feel that it is that way.
The Jon Snows out there.
Yeah, I've never watched that fucking series.
I've made it through the first season.
I've never watched the first season. I've never watched an episode. Is it good?
I hear it gets really, really good. There's dragons and knights and Jason Momoa.
Oh, okay. I might have to check it out. You've convinced me.
He's shirtless a lot.
I'm definitely checking it out.
But actually, we did talk to Mo about the inspiration of this fragrance and what it means to him. And we want to play that now as well. Faris, the fragrance.
Faris.
Because the word is like knight or horseman, right? Is that what it stands for?
Yeah, it's the knight in shining armor.
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to portray in the bottle, in the, and even in the scent. I try to always have a scent that also tells the same story that the bottle is trying to mention. Having the silver goes with the Faris, but I also wanted to mention that the name is the family name of my business partner. He didn't know that I was creating, or he knew I was creating something. And then usually what I'll do is I'll give him a presentation just to get his feedback.
Okay.
And so when I finally revealed the name, he's like, he got very pleasantly surprised, oh, wow, it's a play on words. If Faris is the knight in shining armor, but that's also your name, your family name. So
why don't you ever do anything nice like that for me?
I've probably overextended myself for you, Ryan. A time or two. Hell, I had to pay for your lunch.
I knew he was going to bring it up. I had my wallet with me. I left it in the car. It's not like I went freaking miles with it.
Every time.
And I paid him back as soon as we sat in the car. Good Lord.
I want to get into this, and I want your honest opinion, Ryan.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Skip it?
Sample it?
Or buy it?
What are you going to do, Ryan?
Well, I think are we going to promise to decant any of this?
I don't want to. I want to keep it all.
I know. Are we decanting any of it, though? Like 110 ml or something?
Yeah, let's give a couple out to Patreon.
Okay, so at some point, we're going to give out 2 10 ml samples randomly to somebody on Patreon, and then we're keeping the rest of the juice. But as soon as that runs out, for me, yes, it's a buy.
Yeah.
It's sharp as fuck.
The thing that I'm worried about people thinking, and we've talked about this a lot before the episode.
Yeah.
The thing I'm worried about is that they think because we got sent the bottle that we're just blowing smoke when we say this. But I completely agree that this is so good that it is a must.
Yeah, it is definitely that good.
For me.
Yeah, for me too. Knowing the weather we have here in Texas, this is like one of the most optimal fragrances for me to wear because, like I said, I know this thing's nuclear in heat, so I'm going to be all about it.
It smells great. It's highly versatile. There's so many reasons why I love it. It's masculine. I think you can get away with it. Office-wise, it's a safe fragrance that I can't really promise you'll get compliments, but I know it is a compliment-inducing fragrance for me.
Yeah.
That when I wear it, you smell good. You smell nice. I like what you're wearing, sort of a thing. And I don't mind getting complimented on my fragrance. So this is one that isn't too complicated. I think a lot of people could get away with it. And for that, I think it's safe to say sample it for you listening. But for me, it is legit a buy. It is.
Yeah. And for me, again, it's a buy. And every time I've worn it, I'm an introvert, so I don't hang around anybody other than Mike. But every time I've worn it, he's like, man, you smell really good. You smell delicious.
Oh, I say that to you?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. If we're being appropriate, yeah.
So there you go. It's a double buy, and we stand by that.
I wouldn't be shocked if you as a listener sampled it. I wouldn't be shocked if you wrote us and said, yeah, I definitely think this is a buy for me as well.
It's not just us. If we look this hard to find a negative review on Fragrantica, which let me tell you, is usually pretty goddamn easy.
Yeah, people don't usually go out of their way to say nice things online.
They love saying bad things, and we love reading those bad things.
Yeah, especially since it's been out for a year now.
Yeah.
By then, you've normally collected some hate, but this one is such a strong fragrance in so many great ways, like strong in actual longevity of the fragrance, but also just the backbone of the fragrance is one that I think a lot of people share. We look for it in a lot of different fragrances, and it's hard to find a fragrance like this that's so wearable, but also unique enough to make you stand out.
So what do you want to tease for the next fragrance?
The next fragrance is a newer release.
I'm talking pretty brand new, isn't it?
Pretty brand new.
Mm-hmm. And our boy Matt at Dillard's,
that's right, friend of the podcast,
hooked us up with a sample of this bad boy.
And we hooked him up with a sample of Faris.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We know what we need to do on the one night stand. We need to go and get his take on it.
Yes.
See what he thinks.
Let's do it.
Put a goddamn microphone in his face and say, "Hey, what do you think about this, buddy?
Huh?
You just smell good to you?
You like that? Well, if you do like that, then you can spray it up, y'all."